Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. Good morning. Thank you again for joining us at another session for Back to Basics Practice Management. Our topics today is operations, and I am excited to have with us Steve Amplo, who is the owner and operator of Fibrenew Westchester, and his wife, Margaret Amplo, as well. And so we are looking forward to this discussion today. So let me introduce to you a little about Steve and his background and what he's been doing, and in our conversations today about the aesthetic pieces in a practice and what we can do to enhance or improve, and how Steve can help you with that. So without further ado, let me go ahead and do that. We have again Steve Amplo, owner and operator of Fibrenew Westchester. He has over 30 years experience in the corporate world. He spent most of those years as senior systems engineer in the healthcare industry. Steve always thrived in hands-on and gritty tasks. After Steve was laid off from his corporate career, he decided on embarking in a new endeavor in becoming a franchise owner for Fibrenew. After looking at many other opportunities, Fibrenew stood out to him. Fibrenew is the largest restoration company in the world that specializes in repair and renewal of leather, plastic, vinyl, fabric, and upholstery. With a commitment to quality of craftsmanship, Fibrenew offers services that go beyond the traditional cleaning, providing specialized solutions for cracks, fades, stains, and other forms of damage. The franchise operates with a customer centric approach, aiming to meet the unique needs of individuals, businesses, and communities. They share identical values, and that is what brought them together. With the support of his wife, Margarita, as I mentioned earlier, who's also an entrepreneur in the marketing industry, he then decided to take the leap and become an entrepreneur himself. So he joined his wife, and the rest is his history. So without further ado, let's welcome both of them. Hi, Steve and Margarita. How are you?
Great. Thanks
Hello,
for
how's
having
everyone
us.
doing? Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being a guest. So nice. We have a dynamic duo partnership. So wonderful. Um, let's start talking about the aesthetics in a practice, right, in medical offices, and with all the business that they have to go through on an operations day to day. There are some things that are needing enhancements. Those environment, atmosphere, the aesthetics, and that can sometimes fall a little bit on the wayside, and as they try to improve and update. Some practices have done that well, and some practices, might still need to be upgraded and enhanced, because there's kind of like what I call stuck in a time warp, if you will. And we want to bring them up to speed to a, I wouldn't say modern in the way of modern look, but just something comfortable, for the patient and even for the staff. So, what advice would you give to physician practices that are looking to improve their practice settings? Like their waiting area, perhaps, their exam room, their staff lounge, the furniture that's there, pretty outdated and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to be able to go to an office and be welcomed in, and then being comfortable with the surroundings and the atmosphere with everything. As far as sitting down in the chair, be able to sit down, and the furniture to be pretty much new or almost like new. You don't want to sit down in a chair that has any tears or rips, any fading or discoloring or anything, because if you see that, then you're going to know, well, this place it's a little older. How much do you like rely on everything to be nice going in? Because if you see everything be able to be comfortable and everything for you, then you expect that from the people that actually work there as well. So it's nice to be able to be comfortable in the surroundings and where you're at.
Yeah, it's important, I guess, the patient experience, right? When we all go to
Exactly.
when we all go to the doctors, we're already anxious for one reason or another, and you don't want it to feel even more awkward or have that mindset, especially if it's an older furniture, older look. I remember going into doctor's offices when I was young, and just seeing that old chair sitting there. It's just very daunting, and you just feel very uncomfortable. So you just want it to be more inviting, I guess, to your patients as well as the staff too. That's really important. You want to have a place that is homey and comfortable, good ambiance and all of that, and clean, and nothing looking worn out or old, and you just put it all together and it's there.
Agreed. I'm with you on that. And with the furnitures and things, even a staff lounge, it's incredibly. I think for the staff, it's important also, and it's essential that the where you're seating, or even just a nice table, or just a place where, because we're there 8 hours a day, and so, or more sometimes, and you want to come to a place where it not only is it a welcoming place, but also that you're not sitting on a piece of furniture that is almost rickety, if you will. And then in the waiting room, like, I agree with you, Margaret. I mean, I'm a patient too, so when I go to doctors' offices, your anxiety level definitely skyrockets. You're there, and if the environment isn't as inviting and welcome or calming, that sometimes can either exacerbate, or or as you're sitting down, feel enhanced, or just a way of vibes. And we've heard all the sometimes feedback about, oh my goodness, look at the chair, I don't want to sit in that chair, I want to sit here, because that was a little bit sturdier and solid, and whatnot. So I think we've all heard the patient complaints, but I agree with you. It's not just your surgery, also into the office. My next question is, what is the best time? Like practice, they're setting enhancements, right? You have projects that they have, budget for this work. On there, like if they're a calendar year for the fiscal year, or things like that. Like, how would you recommend? We're now looking at something that we know we want to set aside money. How should we? What should be the planning? For that.
Yeah, as far as budgeting, I guess you want to, I guess, gather an inventory of everything that you have, and you want to be able to talk about what your needs and what your priorities are, and to bring it into like, how would you budget it? How would you put in your budget as far as what time of year basically you want to spend the money to spruce things up? Whether it be in the spring or in the fall, but and we can work with anybody if they need help as far as what we recommend, as far as seating replacements or repairs, or exam tables or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, as far as time frame, everyone's got strategic planning sessions that they do, and whether it be for specific budget cycles or what have you. That's definitely a topic of keeping everything looking the best and looking brand new.
Connection issues there. But let's go back to that question again. And Margarita, you were do you see
That's
connectivity?
okay.
To this question, we were talking about budget, and
Yeah, well, primarily I was saying, during your planning session, your strategic planning sessions, I think that it's a good topic for to have that on your list as far as any updates or upgrades to furniture or other tables that you might have within your practice. It's good to have that as part of the agenda. And like Steve said, we'll work with you as far as if you have too much going on at one time, we could definitely spread things out to make
Right.
things more budget friendly. And, someone might say, well, how much money do you budget? It depends on the practice because every practice is unique and different. Everyone has their own, budget dollars, depending on how long you've been around in the practice. So, we could definitely work with you on that, but definitely include the topic in your strategic, budgeting sessions, whether you do it, towards the end of the year or if you do it quarterly. Definitely have that conversation with your staff too, because I think your staff can give you really good input as far as what needs to be repaired and renewed, either from hearing from patients or just themselves.
I think we lost her again.
Yeah, we did.
So as I recall, what you had input stages, like Steve said, and then we plan that out so that the practice can execute that because they've gathered. Okay, looks like I'm so sorry again. Our connectivity keeps to be in and out. My apologies to everyone, to our guests and to our audience. So, in our midst of our conversation, we're talking about strategic planning, and in the approach that we should be doing. So so in that strategic planning, so when we're requesting that from a work from you guys, what's the process? Can you give us an example of, recently that you've worked on, and what that process looks like?
As far as process, I mean, to get a hold of us, I mean, it's, anything from giving us a phone call or going directly to our website, fibrenew.com/Westchester, and actually brings up our request system, and you can give us information on what you're looking to have done, and also attaching pictures, because we love pictures in the Fibrenew world. This way, you can actually see what we're dealing with and get a better understanding on, you know, how we can see what the issue is right away. And because everybody's busy, so that's why pictures help everybody out. Yeah, as far as the process, basically, once we get a request, we like to go out and give you an assessment and take a look of your furniture and find out what actually you're looking to have done, whether it's a repair or replace vinyl replacement. And we can give you different color options as well. So, and we also match colors as well as, of course, during the repairs. So that's not a problem. And then, if it's vinyl replacements, we usually, we would have to order that because we don't keep that in stock unless we work with you in the past and we know what kind of vinyl or what colors you use. Then we can, of course, keep that in stock for you. This way, come and repair a chair or replacement, within a day or two. So, yeah, I mean, it's just all what someone is looking for and what they want done, and we take it from there.
Yeah, as far as turnaround time, so if you put in a request via email, we get back to you within, a few hours or so. The latest would be the next day, just to, connect with you and learn a little bit more about your project and what you want done. And then as far as, coming out, we just make sure that, you're available. We give you some time slots, and we try to do everything within a week to 2 weeks at lag time as far as, meeting up with you. So it's not a big wait, especially if you're saying, if you have something of urgency that needs to be repaired due to, someone coming in and, doing some work or whatever. Right. So yeah. So, I mean, as far as that's concerned, it's really easy for our clients to go online and fill out the form.
So it sounds like it's an easy process, and it also, I think, is phases, so that there's opportunity where. And what I heard Steve say is that if you're a new client and it's a vinyl work that we haven't had you yet as an established client, but once we work with you, then we'll have your colors already, and it's your established client, and so that if there is another work that involves vinyl work, for example, then you already have that in hand. So it doesn't sound like it's a once and done, so to speak, that there's something that if it's a continuum, if they start, let's say, oh, I have a couple, furniture in the waiting area, but we don't want to take on like every single chair yet, but we're going to go ahead and do these first. Mm-hmm. And is there like a prioritization where they can do that? And then can that be phases in the way of like, we go to the exam rooms, or we go to the staff lounge, or areas that they've identified that there are pieces of furniture that they need to upgrade. Is that what I'm hearing in that way?
Yeah. So as far, we had an urgent care client do just that. They had a few chairs.
About 12 chairs. So,
okay.
So in order not to take all the chairs away from your waiting area, right? So
right.
I did probably like 5 or 6 chairs 1 week. brought them back, and then I took the next set of chairs.
Yeah.
So it worked out that way.
Mhm.
And that's good because, sometimes
Yeah,
in practices, like you said, you can't take all the chairs away, obviously,
right.
because patients still need to sit. But, as each chair, or, we can have a pair repaired and then come back, and they're still, accommodating for while accommodating the patients and staff while they're in construction. So that's a good piece in the sense of,
Mhm.
that is a phases, like I said, and I think it also allows for what it looks like for the first two brought in, right? And what that room would look like.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I wanted to point out our color eye technology. Not
Mm-hmm.
No one else has that but Fibrenew. So we work with technology that will get the color pretty much 99% of the time perfect, that matches correctly, and work with our clients with that. So it's pretty fun. You can tell them a little bit more about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little device that you can lock on the color. Like if you're doing a repair, you want to try to match the color as close as possible. So this little device that we have, it'll lock in on the color that you're doing a repair on and get it pretty close or accurate exactly to what the color match is, and give you the measurements of each color and how to mix it, and how to get your color to do the repair. So.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Are
So
there any
much.
customizations? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So pretty much any color you have, we can match.
That's fantastic. Has there ever been like a customization also, or are there anyone that have requested unique colors, if you will?
Well, yeah, too. If you have your own color swatch and you want to match it to that color, we could do that as well. Mhm.
Have you also worked with other contractors also, in the sense of, let's say one practice, but they're also working on, painting in the walls, but yet, there's also furniture to be had. What's that process? I mean, what's that look like? Have you worked with that in a joint effort, of improvement and enhancements?
No, not yet. We haven't run across. It's mostly existing clients that have been up and running. And the chairs are anywhere from 10 to 15 years old that we have worked with. It's nothing like. Are you talking like a place just opening up and try to?
No, not necessarily. That where you were in the, fifth, they're established, but they also need paint job, for example.
No.
There's always
Okay.
a
Like to
paint.
try to get things to match up. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely work with them just as we work with clients. So if they're looking for a specific color, one client wanted the chairs to be a little bit different. I think it was a little bit darker. So we went ahead and did that for her.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, we work with even if there's vendors that clients
Mhm.
want to work with, that's not a problem because we could definitely share our knowledge of the color scheme, and how we're using it, and then as opposed to what they're looking for. So if they even give us an idea of the color, then we could give them some options.
That's perfect. So it's you guys are multifaceted. So that's really great.
Mhm.
That if there is that project of working with other vendors, that there's you guys are able to accommodate the practice in order to accomplish two things. Sometimes there are those efforts where it's both upgrading furniture and also upgrading what is at the wall, and any other fixtures that they may be interested in.
Mhm.
Having said that, what what would your in a repeat work that for example, once the practice is established with you, or in a medical facility and whatnot, is it still the same process of requesting online, and or is it just now, because they're established clients with you guys, is it just straight contact with you?
I think it depends on the contact. Some people prefer that we go out there. When they call us, they rather we just go out there without even doing that, which is fine. And then others love to do everything via, email, or online. So whatever,
Texting,
you're
yeah.
texting too. So whatever it is your preferences, that's what we'll do moving forward. So we cater to whatever you like. Not, some people like to do work via email, and some people like that more personal touch, that they want us to go over there and look at the equipment. So
Yeah.
for instance, we had a gym recently that wanted us to come out there and look at all of their equipment, and they had a lot of it. So it was actually better for us to go out there and look at it. So yeah, depends on what the client wants, and we'll do.
I like the flexibility. Go ahead, Steve.
Now, I was going to say our request system actually will tell I ask the client how they want to be contacted, whether it's a phone call, an email, or text.
Yeah.
So it does have that question for them. So
Yeah.
whatever their
More comfortable.
preferences and comfortable, then we can accommodate that as well. So
That's fantastic. I mean, the flexibility is great. You guys can go on an assessment. There's a preferences for the client, and then I'm excited about the color technology being, close to the colors that you would want, and how things are going to look in your improvements. So, as we're wrapping up in time, but I want to make sure we've given everyone the opportunity to, reach out to you. What's the best way? I know we heard online, but I also heard there's text and a phone call. But for the start, is it online first, and then we can do phone call? You let us know what's the best way.
yeah, I mean either or. I mean
Either or. I mean, people prefer different things. They want to be called. So you can call us at 610-701-9410, or you can go right to our website, which is fibrenew.com/Westchester, and fill out the request form there. And again, it'll ask you all the questions, how you want to be called, contacted, and all of that. So whatever you're more comfortable with is fine.
That's awesome. Well, for any of our audiences that are, medical facilities or practices, if you have this project upcoming and you're looking to, what I say, refresh and renew, and remember, practice transformation does not mean it's a, gut down to the stubs. It could also be just a moderate tweak and something in the frame that I like with what Fibrenew is looking to do is a renew and refresh. Some things are not just, the buy new and buy something. There are some things in your furniture or even in your aesthetics that can just be improved, and it's amazingly transformative to the patient's eye and how they enter into your practice as you present welcoming and calming environment. Well, I'm so glad to have Steve and Margarita Amplo. I'm so glad to have them here talk about Fibrenew. I'm hoping that with that resource that you guys are available at the end of this session, I will re-upload your information, make sure that folks can reach out to you. I did look at some of the pictures that you guys have. They look so great, as if they weren't even like faded or dated or whatnot. So they look terrific. So thank you for being our guests.
Thank you for having us.
Yep, thank you.
All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your week. Looks like it's another sunny week, but not so warm, but it's nice and sunny week. So enjoy.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks again for another Back to Basics practice management session.